welcome back to Rachel and Bella Crafts. Rachel here, I hope you're all well. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to all our new subscribers that have signed up this week. Thank you for following our channel, and thank you to all our normal subscribers as well for following along with us. I've got a really simple video for you today, which shouldn't take too long, but I was just looking at some ideas for how we can use up some of our book pages, and I was going through some of the pocket ideas that we've already done. And I found a brilliant idea on Justine's website, and I will put the link below. It's her blog. She's got some fantastic ideas and resources on there. So if you want to go over and check it out, please do that. And it's just a simple pocket that she's done with decoupage and a napkin onto the book page, and then covering it with vellum. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word then. So here's one that I did a little earlier. So as you can see, I've taken a simple book page. Well, it's an old book page, one of my vintage French ones. I have fussy cut some lovely roses out of this napkin. And then I've added vellum over the top, and I've stitched around the edge. And it's a really simple book page. So I'm going to show you a couple of variations of how I've done that. And I'll show you then how I put them in my journal. So I've got a couple of book pages here ready. Some are really old with some nice colouring around the edge, but it doesn't really matter because you're not really going to see much of that. It's mainly this section here. So obviously any book pages you're using, just double check that there's nothing offensive or inappropriate on there. I can't actually do that with the French book pages, I'm afraid, because I don't speak French, but I'm pretty hopeful the book looks okay. So I know somebody will tell me if there's something on it that shouldn't be there. So we're going to be covering most of that up anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. So what I've done is I've gone on and stuck down some napkins, because obviously it takes time to dry. And I'm just going to show you then how I've done the different styles that I've made. So thinking about obviously your page, your book page that you're going, your journal page rather, that you're going to be putting your pocket on, thinking about the size that you're going to need. So obviously I know I'm going to use this one here as a bit of a side tuck, so that's a perfect size for that. But you know, you could look at doing one maybe to fill the entire page. So I'm going to do a larger one, and I'm going to do one then that is slightly smaller. So the first thing that we're going to do is get our vellum. Obviously, you know how to do this stage. I've literally just stuck some napkin onto the book page. That's why it's still a little bit tacky. I haven't used PVA. I've actually used my Uhu, my glue stick, because I know the PVA lightens it slightly, but it just takes too long to dry when I'm kind of doing something like this. So, and I quite like the effect with the Uhu anyway, because it leaves the colour quite vibrant. So I'm going to just take a sheet of vellum, and I don't very often tend to cut my vellum down before I use it, mainly because I don't like to have the waste, so I tend to cut it in place, if that makes sense. And what I'm going to literally just do is measure that over the top. I'm going to be cutting down the top. I'm going to be cutting the sides because I want to use my serrated scissors to leave a nice interesting edge. And like I say, I'm just going to double check now that this will fit on to a book page. Now obviously if I were to put that onto the journal page, that's going to cover the whole thing, and it's not going to be a pocket, is it? Now that's fine if I wanted to use it as maybe a hidden tuck. I could do it for that. That would be perfect. So I could put a journal card in the side of there, and then you know, it would still fill and cover the page. But obviously we're looking to kind of do more of a pocket style, so we need it to be a little bit smaller. So looking at a pocket size, we're probably better off looking at this one first. So let's put that one to the side just for a second. We'll come back to that in a moment. And again, I'm going to take my piece of vellum. So if I just place that over here, I'm going to be cutting this down. So all I'm going to do for a second is I'm going to pop a little bit of the Uhu, only a little bit, just to hold the vellum in place while I just decide how big I need it to be. And I'm going to place my bottom corner down there, and then stick that in place then over the top. Okay, right, there we go. That looks quite nice. So next thing I'm going to do now is take my scissors and I'm just going to cut around the edge in. So I'm going to come up pretty close to the image of the napkin, because I don't really need all that at the bottom, do I? And then we're going to take away this edge in here. There we go. And then I'm going to cut about here, I think. That will be high enough then for our pocket. And then I'm just going to come down this edge here and do the same thing here. And hopefully it'll be square. Because you just never know, do you, how you're cutting. There we go. So all I've got to do to that now is to ink around my edge, and then in a moment I'll go over to the machine and we're just going to stitch around the edge of that. So that one there is pretty much done. It's as simple as that. So that's the first pocket done there. So just pretend I've been over and I've stitched that. Let me just move these book pages a second, because this is lovely paper and I can use that later for collaging. Okay, so going back to this one here, what we can do with this one now is I'm going to cut away most of these edge in here, because this is just far too big for what I'm going to need it for. So as much as it pains me to do this on this lovely book page, right, so now at least I know I've got the base length. Right, let's hope now that we've got enough left on here. Yes, we've got ample on there, that's brilliant. Okay, so if I can just pop a bit of glue on here now to hold that in place, and then we'll decide then where we're going to place this and we're going to cut it. Okay, just try and get that, because it's already sliced at the bottom, so I'm just trying to get that into the shape, which is almost impossible. Did I cut this with a different set of scissors? Maybe I did. Okay. Right, there we are. So let's just pop that there. And then we're going to go around the edge of this again now and cut this into shape. And make this more pocket size for my page. And as I said, obviously if you're using a large page, book page, you know, you do have other options. You don't have to cut it down to pocket size. You could have it as a whole page cover, so that you use it as a side tuck. And then you could put a journal card inside of it, or a postcard or something like that in there. But obviously today we're looking at specifically pockets. So we're going to be going for more of a pocket size. Just add a bit of glue there a moment. Keep that in place. There we go. And I'm just going to slice down here. Okay. So there we go, that's a bit more pockety size, isn't it? Let's just tidy that bit there away. Okay, so obviously we'll go and do the same thing in a moment with these, and we're going to just add a little bit of stitching around the sides. So I'm just going to let the glue dry on those a moment so it doesn't go all over my needle. Okay, so another thing that we can do is to take a book page. Right, let's do it with the smaller ones a second. So let's have a look. I'm going to fold this down in half. So this is just another idea for you for your pocket. Okay, so now that we've folded our book page in half, make sure that you've got the fold at the top of the book page. Actually, just realised I've got two there. Don't need to have two. Okay, just make sure that that's square. There we go. All right, so I'm going to use, I'm not going to put the napkin on this one. I'm going to use an inked and embossed piece of vellum just to kind of mix it up a bit. So I'm just going to cut across the top here a minute just to give us a nice serrated edge rather than it being straight across, because that can be a little bit hard. And then we're just going to glue that into place here. And then pop that on there. There we go. Okay. And then just glue that down there. And then we'll just cut around here. I think that'll be long enough there. at the sides. And cut down the side here, just to give us a really nice shape. There we go. And then we're going to take another book page, preferably from the same book. Now, because these pages are not terribly thick, I'm going to put a French book page on top of a non-French book page, because these pages are thicker, but I do want the French text behind. So I'm just going to make that a little bit more, make that a little bit thicker by putting that on there. Okay, so that stuck that into place. So the next thing we're going to do now is just take this as a template and then cut around the book page behind. And we're going to make a backing, so it's almost like a tag. So this is the top part of the pocket. So I'm just going to cut all the way up here. And then I think we'll just put a little indentation on it so it's a bit like a tag. Just makes it a little bit more interesting. Cut down there a second. And then down here. Oh. Shaved a bit there, that's okay. And then across the bottom. There we go. Right, let's move all this out of the way. Over there. Right, let me just tidy that tab up at the top, because that was just really not the right angle there. Okay, I think that's more like it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over to the sewing machine. I'm going to open this up, stitch around here, and then I'm going to stitch all around the back card as well. And then we're going to stick this then to the back piece. So I'm just going to go and do that, and then I'll be back. Okay, so we've stitched around all of our pockets and around the book pages. So they're all done there. They are ready just to now be placed into your journal. So I will just quickly demonstrate. So this one here now, as you see, you can either pop it into the center of the page, where you can pop a tag down into the middle of it there, or you can have it down in the corner here, and then you can use it either as a pocket there or use it as a large tuck. And then the same with these. And I mean, gosh, you could even, if you really wanted to, layer them up like so. So you can have 1, 2, 3, which is quite a nice effect. The other type of pocket then that we just worked on, so like I say, I've stitched around the edges of this one. Now, this one here I did as 2 individual parts, because the idea is obviously that you'll have a little writing space in the front of there, and then this will become a double pocket. So you'll have a pocket behind here or to the side, and then you'll also then have obviously a pocket inside. So this one here that I've just finished, I've stitched the whole thing on the machine. I've done the pocket inside first, so I went round the actual tag bit on the back. I then stitched around this section here only, so I obviously had that separate, opened that up and stitched around there, and then I opened it up against the pocket and then stitched the last 3 corners there, and then I've just simply cut out a little bit of that manuscript stuff out of these the pack from Machine, and I've stuck that inside so you can write over that if you wanted to then as a journaling space. I do think it's possibly better to glue the pocket on rather than stitch it on, because it is slightly uneven now. It's annoying me a bit. I should probably unpick it and do it myself again later. Whereas this one is come out nice and straight, and it does spring a little with the stitching, where I will just now glue this on. So let's give that a try a sec and see how that sits then against the back page. Come on, Mr. Glue. Tell we haven't used it today. Sorry. There we are. So just around the edge in there. Obviously, the one thing that you do kind of gain with using your stitching rather than glue is that you are able then perhaps sometimes to get a little closer to the edge. I'm a bit cack-handy with my glue. Tend to go in a bit too far, but we'll see now. See how it sits on here. So go. Right, now hopefully, I think there's a little bit too much glue on there then. Hopefully that will now stick nicely on there. We'll still be able to open this up here. And then in here then, we've got ourselves, yes, a nice, and that does tend to just sit a little flatter on the page there. So let's just show you in our journal. So we're going to pop it there, and we've got ourselves, like I say, a nice big pocket behind here, and then a nice pocket in the front here. And of course, then you've got the added bonus then, we can stick some nice bit of writing paper or some coffee dye paper in there, and you've got a hidden journal and spot as well. So there we go, that is our nice easy book page pockets with a little bit of vellum. Here's another one that I did earlier on. So what I've done with this one is I've decoupaged across the whole of a page, and then I stuck that page onto another book page that I'd torn, and then I've obviously stitched all the way around the edge of that. So that's quite a large one there. Again, you could use that as perhaps more of a kind of a side tuck, but it would also equally make a nice large pocket. So there we go, just a couple of simple ideas for you to use up your book pages. I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you do have any questions, please don't be afraid to put them in the comments down below, and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. I am sorry, I know I've been a little bit behind on the comments the last week or two. Well, this last week really. Obviously with everything with Dan being unwell, we just got a little bit behind, but I am slowly catching back up now. And of course we are getting everything ready now for our exciting event that starts on Monday, the 1st of November. There will be a special video aired on the weekend, which I'm hoping, if I can work out how to do it, will air as a premiere. So I'm just trying to work out when is the best time to do that, to kind of let everybody be able to have a chance to come on and use the chat and everything. But I will let you know well before the end of the week. So please look out for that, because it's going to be super, super exciting. We've got loads of exciting things to tell you about what's coming up for next month. And it would just be nice for you to be able to come on and have a chat with some of the people that are going to be involved in next month's project as well. So yes, definitely look out for that. Other than that, have a great week. There's still a sale on as well in our Etsy shop. We got the new kit out, and we've also got our Christmas kit that is now out as well. That's been launched, so do go over and check that out. There's a code for 20% off that. It is Christmas 20, I believe, in capitals. And there's a 30% sale off then on all the other digit kits as well. So have a great day, and thanks for watching. Take care now. Bye.